Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. So we got a bunch of news to talk about. So first, Washington has placed wide receiver Curtis Samuel on the PUP list. So we'll talk about what that means and what that means for his status heading into the season. Another, bit of news, Landon Collins was not placed on the PUP list, which a lot of people were expecting, which means he's pretty much fully healthy. There's a couple other moves that we'll also talk about, including waiving tight end Dion Yelder. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. I'm trying to get to 6,000 subscribers, so please help me get there. So let's get right into the video. Alright, so we have a lot to talk about, and just as I was starting to record this video, we got some more news. So Cornelius Lucas has been placed on the reserve list, so he likely tested positive for the virus, and Tyrone Swoops and Najee Toran both did not report. I mean, those guys are back end of the roster guys, so that doesn't really matter much. But the big news that we'll talk about is Curtis Samuel placed on the PUP list, and after that we'll talk about the even bigger news, in my opinion, that Landon Collins was not placed on the PUP list. So Curtis Samuel placed on that because of his groin injury that he, had in, I think it was OTAs. He missed a few OTA days, and then after that, he missed all of minicamp because of that groin injury. And JP Finley says, as for Curtis Samuel, I'm told it's not a major concern as he's dealing with a groin issue. Keep in mind, he missed all of June mini camps too. So, I'm not too concerned with it now because the PUP list, it's not like IR. If you're placed on IR before the season starts, you're done. You're done for the whole season. PUP list, they can take you off that list as long as it's before the season, whenever they want. Alex Smith, Reuben Foster, both started the season, or both started training camp, I believe, on the PUP list, and within like a week or so, they were both off of it, and Alex Smith obviously made the 53-man roster. So, yes, I'm a little bit concerned that, this happened in like late May, early June, and it's now pretty much the end of July and it's still lingering, but they're probably being cautious because with these injuries, they linger and it's very easy for them to flare up. So they probably want him to ease into it. He's probably close to 100%, and I'm just speculating obviously, but they probably want to ease him in until he's fully 100% because we have time. We have over a month and a half before week 1, and they don't want to rush him in and he gets hurt and then he's out for 4 weeks of the actual regular season. So I think this is a smart move by Washington. He can come off of this list whenever he wants. Greg Stroman is also on the PUP list. He's been injured pretty much his whole career in Washington. Not really a big deal at all. Tim Settle and DeShazer Everett are on the non-football illness list, so hopefully they're okay. And Tim Settle's actually been on that for a while now, or he was sick in minicamp, so hopefully he is good, and same thing with DeShazer Everett. So now on to the big news in my opinion, and that is Landon Collins was not placed on the PUP list, and I thought there was a chance that he would start the season on the PUP list. When you start the season on the PUP list, then you're like automatically out for, I think it's 6 or 8 weeks before you can get put on the active roster. So, as long as he makes the team, he's going to be, as long as he, plays well in, training camp. And, he's obviously going to make the team because they can't really cut him because of his contract. So maybe a trade is possible, but I doubt it. I think Landon Collins will start this season on the active roster unless he re-aggravates something. And that's, a remarkable recovery considering it was late October and that's an Achilles injury. Like usually that's a 1 year plus recovery, and he did that, in 10 months or less, honestly, like 8 months, because he's been healthy for a while now. He's running in minicamp, and now, he should be good to go. So this is going to be very interesting to see the competition between him and Cameron Curl, because obviously Landon Collins won that job last year, but Cameron Curl played really well and better than Landon Collins, in my opinion, one after Landon Collins got hurt. And I think it should be, at least in my opinion, it should be Cameron Curl's job I still think Landon Collins can be a valuable piece to the Washington football team's defense, just not necessarily as a starting strong safety. He can go in for Cameron Curl if Cameron Curl needs a little bit of a breather, maybe 5 or so plays a game, put him at that big nickel position, 5, 10 plus plays a game. You can put him in a bunch of different places. I'm not saying play him at linebacker, but put him, inside that box, somewhat a few times a game, and you can stack up those snaps so he can play. But I really think that they should start Cameron Curl at strong safety. But who knows if Cameron Curl is looking super good and so is Landon Collins. Maybe they try Landon Collins at strong safety and Cameron Curl at free safety. It's just too tough to cut Landon Collins at this point because you really only saved $200,000. I think that's what it is. So it's really not worth it. Cameron Curl has played a little bit of free safety in the past, but I do think obviously he would be better at strong safety. Landon Collins did not play too well last year, especially in those first 5 or 6 games. Was missing a bunch of tackles, which he usually is great at. Wasn't great in coverage. Had 2 sacks and 1 interception. Also had that. I think he forced a fumble on a safety play. So that was good in that Cowboys game when he got hurt. He had an insane first quarter. It's unfortunate he got hurt, but we did get to see Cameron Curl break out because of that. So, we'll see what happens in training camp. I think now this has become one of the biggest storylines heading into camp, which the first practice is officially tomorrow. It's going to be a huge battle between those two players, both very, very talented. Landon Collins, 2019 played solid, not great, but not bad. But those first 5-6 games last year, he did not play well. Probably could have been because of the scheme, but we will see how he plays this year. I'm hoping he can bounce back and at least add a little bit to this defense. And maybe they'll be able to use him properly and move on from him next season and save a bunch of cap space to extend some of those other guys. Washington also released or waived Dion Yelder. There was a possibility he could have made the roster, maybe as that third tight end competing with Sammis Reyes, Tamarick Hummingway, and Ricky Seals-Jones. But, for some reason, they decided to release him. So, that's it for him. He had last year 7 catches for 36 yards. Nothing major, but he did beat out Ricky Seals-Jones, so that is one thing to keep in mind. Though, this Curtis Samuel thing, it is somewhat concerning that it's been 6-8 weeks since that injury happened, and it's still lingering. But we'll see if the same thing, if he's still on the PUP list within 2 weeks, within, let's say, the first preseason game, that's when I start to get concerned. But as long, as he's continuing to progress, I think it is safe to take it slow. But it is unfortunate that he is, hurt, because it would be nice for him to get some chemistry going with Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that is not happening right now. So overall, guys, don't overreact too much about all these things about Cornelius Lucas. He should be fine in about, we'll see, as long as everything's fine. Within, I think the minimum is 10 days. We will see, though. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tomorrow, again, is the first day where we actually get footage and, we get some practices. So I will have a recap out tomorrow. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. It should be pretty fun. So thanks for watching, and peace.